Hello friends, I am Ms. Prem Kumar, Professor in the Department of Sports Management, Tamil Nadu Physical Education and Sports University, Chennai. I am going to discuss on fundamentals of sports marketing, especially on sports goods and consumers. This is for the subject sports marketing for MBA Sports Management Specialization students. First of all, we have to know what is sports marketing. And of course, this particular concept, sports marketing, consists of two important areas. One is sports, another one is marketing. We have to know the meaning of marketing first before going to discuss the meaning of sports marketing. Marketing is nothing but the, the efforts taken by any company to sell its products or services to the consumers. Otherwise, you can say all those efforts taken by any company to sell their products. And of course, sports marketing is nothing but marketing of any goods and services through the use of sports. Is nothing but if we use sports for selling our products to the ultimate consumer, then that is called as sports marketing. For example, if a company uses a sports person to endorse its product, then it is called as a sports marketing. And the other meaning for sports marketing is marketing of any sports and goods to the ultimate consumers. Now let us look into what is sports product. A sports product is an intangible one which we cannot see, which we cannot touch, but we can only see and of course feel and experience. One of the important characteristic of sports product is simultaneous production and consumption. So whenever it is taking place, as a consumers, we directly consume. So we all know live telecast, right? So this is an example for this particular feature. We cannot preserve or store it for future purpose. Then it will become outdated. And of course, the third one which drives sports is inconsistency and unpredictability. And of course, no player or no team is consistent. And we could see, inconsistency is there everywhere in sports. And of course, unpredictability is one of the common phenomena in sports because no one can predict what would be the outcome of any game. So these two important features drive sport as an important and vibrant activity. Sports as a product. How we consider sports as a product? Why we have to consider sports as a product? I'm going to give you some examples. Then you'll be able to understand why sports is considered as a product. If we consider a game as a product, then cricket, football are brands. And if we consider a player as a product, especially cricket player as a product, then Dhoni, Virat are football player as a product, then Messi are brands. If we consider a sport event as a product, then Olympic, World Cup football, Asia or World Cup cricket, any kind of open, tennis open, Formula One or brands. And of course, we consider league as a product. And then IPL is a brand, ISL, Pro Kabaddi or some other brands. So from this you could understand why we have to consider sport as a product. And what are the classification of sports goals? Uh, and of course there are more than thousands of sports goals which are available for different sports for sports persons. And I'm sure if we are asked to list out the names of products, we may not be able to list out names of product more than 100. And of course there are more than 1,000 sports products for different sports and games, and these products are listed, are classified under three categories. One is sports equipments, then sports material, and third thing is sports accessories and services. Sports equipments are those things which are not required adequately. And some of the features of sports equipments are, once they are fitted, that would be permanent for at least 2 or 3 years. We need not replacement these equipments. Say for example, furnitures fitted on the stadium, or floodlights, or PA equipments, and goal post. These are equipments, and of course the value of these equipments will be very costly. The durability of these product is also higher than that of the other things. And second category are sports materials, which are very much essential for our day-to-day usage. Say for example, any kind of ball, or a cricket ball, or any kind of materials, balls, or mm, stumps, or whatever it is. So as and when we use, that will get destroyed, and of course we need to replace immediately. So these are things which we require very frequently, adequately, and without these materials we cannot play any game. And the life of these materials will be very shorter, and of course the value of these materials will be very lesser. And of course there are many sports accessories and services, though these products or accessories are not essential for a player to use to play the game. uh, these accessories or services will give them comfort, or will give them space, safety when they play a game. For example, if a volleyball player, um, when he plays, wears a kneecap, he could prevent injuries. So some players wear wrist band, some players wear headband. So these are some of the examples, and of course plenty of services are there nowadays. Softwares, usage of softwares to uh, present the game to the people in an effective way, and of course to train the students in an effective, not students, trainees in an effective way. Okay, for example, hockey software, sensor-based measurement equipments. These are all some of the important examples for accessories. But for the first two, sports equipments and sports materials are very much essential for the play. The second one will be giving them comfort. Then, who are sports consumers? This is one of the very important questions we have in our mind. Who are the consumers of sports? So, I would like to explain and give you some of the list of consumers. Thereby, we can understand who are consumers, who are depending on sports. Like that. Of course, governments are sports consumers, because government department, sports department, they buy sports goods from different sources. So naturally, they become consumers. And sports administrators in especially in the national federations and state associations, they buy, and of course they buy sports goods and create sports facilities. So naturally they become sports consumers. And of course every coach and trainer are a kind of people who are attached to any sport, or consumers because they buy sports medicine or sports goods, services, avail services, all those things. And players, we all know naturally they are consumers because they have to buy some of the sporting equipments. And of course, we as spectators, viewers, general public, are consumers because if we have to personally visit the stadium and watch the game, then we need to buy tickets. And of course, if we are viewers, we want to view the matches through satellite channel, then we have to pay for satellite channels. And public, we access through internet, mobile phone, and some kind of sources. We pay for it, and of course, we are naturally um, consumers. And next thing is sponsors and corporates. And of course, we all know that many corporates would be very much interested in associating with sports, especially with the players, with the teams, with leagues. They if they want to be a sponsor, they have to pay some amount of money, either for being a sponsor of a player or for being a sponsor of a team or a tournament, a league, any kind of these things. Of course, naturally they pay for it, so they become the consumers. And then sports goods manufacturers, they are consumer in such a way. They use sports celebrities as endorsers for their brands. Say for example, Adidas use Messi, a football player, an international football player, and in India, the Adidas company is using Dhoni and Virat Kohli for endorsing their brands. So thereby they become consumers. And of course, we all know that media is buying each and every game from the federation for telecasting that to the people. So naturally they become consumers. And all the educational institutions, whether it is a primary school or a government school or private school, colleges or universities, they are supposed to buy the sports goods, and they have to create the sports infrastructure. So they spend huge amount of money on that, and they naturally become consumers. And of course, we as parents are consumers of sports because we have to buy sports goods for our children. Thereby, we become consumers of sports. So whether we are related to sports, whether we are interested in sports or not, we have to buy sports goods or services. So naturally, I would like to tell that we are all consumers of sports. Hope this information would be very very much useful to you. Wish you all the best. Thank you.